Hi guys, you're welcome to this tutorial section with Crypto Tech Coder. If you're just joining, don't forget to subscribe, because in this channel we help you understand the ALS task and other technical issues you could be having with your software engineering journey. Okay, so let me just give me a second. Okay, just did that to reduce my noise, and let's get started. So today we'll be doing the Python import and modules. Okay, so C import and modules like functions in C. Okay, where we'll create a function outside and then we can use it inside a main program, or we could just use a built-in function that is going to be in an header file already imported into the main. I don't know if this sounds not appealing to your ear, but by the time we get into it you would understand. So so we just have two main materials for this particular task or project, so it should not be too much for you to go through. And then this one is just talking about the PyCode style. Okay, and let's go to the quiz. So we have, what does this line print? Okay, so we have a function which is defined here, and we call the name of the function my function. It has no argument. That is, by the time we call this guy, it's going to print a string called in my function. So it is called here and it's going to print in my function. It's not going to put the quotes, because the quotes just signify that it is a string that is going to be printed. Okay, and then we'll go to the next one. So what do this line print? We have this line and it says define my function. So we are defining a function, and inside the function we are passing a parameter called counter, which is 89. So inside this function there's 89 inside this function. So now once this function is called, right, look at it now, this function is called without any argument here. So naturally we know 89 is here, right? So we assume that this place is 89. So what does the function does itself? It prints what? Counter. So we look for counter. So all these are counter, good. And then there's something which will be replaced with this string format printing style. So if we use this string dot format style and said it's going to replace, we're going to insert counter into this place. And what is counter? 89. So by the time it print out counter colon 89, right? That's it. Okay, I've already selected it, so it was confusing. All right, so what did this line print? We have this one, it says define my function. Now my function 89 is here, right? And it should return counter. What is counter? 89 plus 1, that's 90. So we said print my function. Okay, so my function is what? Is 90 already, so it's going to print out 90. So we are just creating functions here, right? So create functions, we know how to import functions, and we are good to go for this project. Okay, so we have to define a function called, there's no light, so in my head I might have two parts for this video because my battery might go off anytime soon. So what did this line print? We have my function and counter. Okay, so we have define my function. So this is a function that we are defining, and inside the function there's a word inside called counter. Okay, so there's a word called counter. So by the time you call this function, so the function is collecting a parameter, but we don't know what parameter it is. But anyway, in the body of the function it said it is to print counter, which counter is everywhere, and then what will be inserted here? Counter. So whatever is here would be inserted here. So what is inside this place at the moment? 12. so it means we'll have counter 12. I don't know if you get it. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. If you ask on time, I would reply. If you ask very late, I would reply, but I might not remember what you're talking about. You get? Okay, but definitely I should if you construct your question very well. All right, so let's go. So to the next one. What does this line print? We have a function, right? My function, it collects an argument 89, right? It should print counter, and what should be replaced here? Counter. And what is counter? Counter here is 89, right? So here is 12, so it means 12 will be replaced there, right? So what does this line print? We have a function and it should print in my function. Look at it. We called it here, but we didn't put this parenthesis. Because we didn't put this parenthesis, it's going to return more information about the function. So function is my function. Okay, this function is my function. So let's try and submit it. We might have one error. If we don't, then we're good. So it looks like we're good, and yes, so complete. So let me just open the quiz one more time so you can go through it, and it's quite easy. All right, so the first task we'll be doing today is import a simple function from a simple file. Okay, so if you look at this place, right, they've created a file called add0.py. This is a Python file, a script, and they've defined the function to add a and b, and then it should return a plus b. That is, this function is serving as our addition function. Okay, so let us create this function and put it in. But before that, we have to create our directory where it's going to be living inside our ALX low level programming, right? Sorry, I level, sorry. And then we'll list. So we have it, so we cd into our ALX high level programming, right? And then let me list what is there. So we have just these two. So we'll make the directory and then paste the name and enter. So the next thing we're gonna do is we move into the directory, right? Sorry, and let me clear my screen, and ls. We have nothing, so I'll create my readme first, .md, and the name I can just, sorry, I made mistake. Okay, good. So I'm just pasting this because I don't have much to say about this for now. So right now, okay, this is the nonsense I typed, so it just appeared mistakenly. Someone is coming to disturb me. Yeah, so pardon me. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to, okay, so I'll signal the person I'm busy, so let's continue. So we've created the readme. So the next thing is, yes, we want to create the other file, add0.py. so I'm going to copy this guy. I'm going to copy, and then paste. So we're going to say vi add_0.py, right? I'm not sure. _0.py. You don't really need it, but I'm just creating it so that you can understand what's going on. So I've pasted that, and you can see this is just a comment, and these are the two main body of the file. I've declined it. Okay, so I had a call, I just declined it, and then let's continue. So that is that, and let's go. So we have that file already. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to now see what we were told to do. So it says write a program that will import the function. So before we do that, so let me just create the file we'll be needing. So we need add0.py, there's going to be a file called add0.py, and then I will add it vi add. Hey, I made mistake again, so that stuff will pop up anyway. Before it pops up, I'm here. Okay, so cancel. Good. So I hope I'm in insert mode. Okay, now I'm in insert mode. All right, good. So back to the question, we have write a program that would import the function. It's going to import the function that has been defined a b, right, from the file add0.py and print the result of the addition of 1 plus 2 equals to 3, since it's going to add. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, because we'll be executing the file that we'll be creating, as you can see, this add.py is being executed here, right? And then 1 plus 2 equals 3. I'm coming, cars, blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay, so basically it's a script because it's going to be executed. So we'll write our shebang line, and we'll say the interpreter is user, it's in our user / bin / python 3, right? I hope I spelled it right. Good. So if you are writing a what's it called, if you're writing a let me call it module or a function that we want to execute, we have to use this line, and it is say if to_name, if the name is equal to main, is equal to _main, right, and then we'll have our this, and then our body will now be one indentation, that's one tab or one space after this, to show that it is for this guy. Okay, so this is necessary if we want to run it as a script. If you are running it as a script, then we need that. So the next thing we need to look out for is, it says you have to print function with string format to display integer. That is, if you want to print out, you have to use dot string. You get dot format, rather string dot format style. The value of 1, the print the result of addition of 1 and 2 equals 3. The value 1 to be stored in A, 2 to be stored in B, and use those two variables as argument when calling the function add and print. Print A and B must be defined. A and B must be defined in two different lines, A equals to 1 and B equals to 2. So we have to have that in two different lines. Your program should print A plus B equals to probably C, followed by a new line. You can only use one word of add 0. Okay, so add 0 once in your code. You're not allowed to use the wildcard and or this for importing, or this. Your code should be executed when imported by using import, like the example below. So I think like this example below. Anyway, so what we're gonna do now is, I'm gonna break it down for you. So the first thing we need to consider is there are different ways in which we could call this guy that has been defined somewhere and use it in our code. We could just say import add_0, because it is add0.py, right? And then we'll then say add0, and let me see, I can't remember that name. So we can say that, and then but one thing they said we should do is we should only use it once. If I'm doing this, I'm going to be calling it twice, because I will then say let me see, I can't remember that. There's something I want to explain to you, so I want to see if I can remember it. Hold on a bit. Do this. So this would help you because I want you to quite understand it without jumping and knowing why we did some things. Okay. Yeah, sorry, that's not what I want to do. This is the statement I want to remember. So okay, that's quite okay. Anyway, let me just go straight to the point because this is not what I wanted to do. Let me bring this guy backwards here. This is not what I wanted to do. I will show you probably once I remember what I wanted to show you, but for now we have to call this add guy once. So we'll say from add 0, that is from this file. Okay, from this file we want to use the add function. Okay, from this file, page down. Okay, that is from this file, which is add.0.py, we want to use this add function. Okay, so that's what we do. From this import add. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, and we were told that we should store 1 in A and B in and 2 in B in different lines. You look at it very well. That's what we were told. The value of 1 to be in variable A and value of 2 should be in variable B, right? And what's the first thing? Okay, we need to use this format. Okay, and then use 2 variables as argument when calling the function. Okay, add and print. We know that 2 variables are used as argument already, so your program should print. So we should now print this, right? So we then go to the next guy and say print. So this is the main guy, string.format. So we have our string and then .format. That's what we are to use. And then if you look at it again, we have that your code should be executed when, okay, you should print the first value plus the second value equals to third value, right? So we have 3 guys here, 3 curly braces. This first value plus the second value space is equal to what? The third value. So in this guy we're going to have our first value, second value, third value. So our first value will be A, comma, B, comma, and then the third value will be the function add open parentheses, sorry, and then we'll have the 2 guy A, comma, B. Okay, and then we'll be good. So with this, print will give us a new line itself. Let me remove this extra line. All right, good. So this is it, but there's something I want to remind us here. Let me see if I would see what I'm looking for here. I'm trying to see if I remember, if I from filling board field. Okay, I can't find it yet. Okay, I can't find what I'm looking for yet, but anyway, let's go to it. So we have that. So which one is our main one? Is it the add or 0? So our main guy is the 0. Okay, so would chmod, let's just put plus x and 0, right? And then let's you look at something. When I execute this 0 guy, so we have our 1 plus 2 equals to 3, right? And that's what we have here. But you will notice something, that when I do ls, I have a PyCatch directory. So executables here, like once if I cd into this this guy, sorry, you see I have a .pyc file. This is like the catch file from this is like the what will I call the compiled, let me call it compiled, but remember that Python is not a compiled program, so let's just call it like a compiled program for that execution that I did has been stored in a catch. They call it a PyCatch file. So this one become a catch file. That's why you have the C attached to it telling you that it was a catch. So let's go back. I just hope you understand this, but for now let's just keep it that way. So let me VI into my 0 again and explain one more time. So this is the shebang to show that it's a script. This one is to make it executable because it's a script. And then we have this guy, a file, this file, and then we say we want to use the add in the file, right? We have these variables, we printed these guys, and then we use for this third one, we use the add function to print these guys, to add them together, right? Since the add will return a plus b, so that's why we'll have a plus b to be 3. All right, so with this, and then we can just git add the did I git add is the readme. Let me git add the readme and git commit it. So let me git add the 0 add and git commit it, and then say add to int, and then we'll push it. Alright, so that is that on that. So I'm going to check the code and see if it's going to run. Sorry. So it worked, and let's go to the next one. So if you look at this one, it says write a program that, so the first thing we want to do is create this guy, right? So this is a calculator file, and if you look at it, it defines functions. Add, to add a plus b as well. It's still add, but yeah, it's still addition. My addition function, the first integer, second integer. Okay, so we have subtraction, and then we have multiplication, and then we have division and modulus, I guess. Okay, no modulus, just the four main stuff here. So we'll call it 1/calculation.py. No, it can't be that. It's called calculator_1.py. okay, so we'll vi calculator_1.py. okay, so we paste this guy there. So they've been defined. This one is a comment, multi-line comment, and then we have, these are the main guys over here. So we have that. So let me clear my screen and have this. Okay, so we'll vi our main guy, which would be what? Which would be 1calculation.py. So 1calculation.py, if I copy if I copy this guy and then paste it here, I mean it's hard to move. The first thing is it's going to be an executable, and it's going to be in our user, going to be in our user /bin/python3. okay, and then remember, because we'll be executing it, we'll have this guy, if name is equals to main, right? Close the quote, and then we'll have this, the rest will be under it. Okay, good. So the next thing is we will say write a program that import a function from, so we have a from the file, we have a file called calculator1.py. okay, so we want to import function from this guy, and then so we'll have from this guy import this function. Okay, that's the statement we need, that from this guy import some math function. You do not use the function print with string format to display integer more than 4 times. We should use it, but not more than 4 times. Okay, you have to define the value 10 to a variable a and 5 to variable b, like we did. So we have to do this definition. Okay, and then use 2 variables only as arguments when calling functions. So we have to just use 2 variables. A and b must be different in 2 different lines. Okay, they should be defined, sorry, in 2 different lines. Your program should call each of the imported function. So our program will call each of the function. See below format, the format. The word calculator1 should be used once in your file, because we could say, I think what I wanted to remember is we could say calculator1.add, import calculator1.add from calculator, import calculator1.add. So we don't want to repeat that calculator twice. I want to say it once. That's what I was looking for in that module. Yeah, so I just remembered. Okay, so basically that's that. And yeah, so what else? The word calculator should be used once in your file. You are not allowed to use star, which is the wildcard, because we don't want to it has its own usefulness, but we are not it's not ethical to use it because of some setbacks it brings to our code. And then your code should not be executed when imported. Okay, so we have the add, we have the subtract, we have the multiply, and we have the division. So we could just say from calculator1, right, import. So we have the add, we have the subtract, we have the multiply, and we have the division, and then we would end it that way. Okay, so the next thing is we have our a to be 10 in separate line, and our b to be what, 5. So we have that as well. So what do we print? Then we print let's go up 10 5. Okay, so we'll print, and then what would be the, if you don't really know what your stuff would be like, okay, my light is back. If you don't know what your stuff would be like, then what we'll do is look at, so we have a plus b equals to, just like the previous one we had. So we just say string dot format, and then we'll come back here, and then a, the first one is add, right? So if you look at it here, so we have add, subtract, minus, star, and this one is making noise, so let me turn it off. Okay, sorry for the break. And then we'll have this, so we have to print these guys. So we'll have import this plus this is equals to this, right? And then we'll have our a will be in the first place, b will be in the second place, and then the third place will have our addition for this guy, and then it's going to collect 2 arguments, and which will be our a and b. And then we'll do the same thing for this place. So let me just copy it, and then I'll just change what is there. Let's see, that will work. Copy, paste. I hope it doesn't bring so let me just paste it one more time, and that is it. And then I will just change it to someone is calling me, so it's breaking my network. Sorry guys. Okay, good. So okay, and then I would say this one will be subtract, this one will be multiply, and then this one will be what? Divide. Okay, and then what should we have here? The signs will be different. So this one will be divide, this one will be multiply, this one will be subtract. So I think with this we are good. So it's simple. We imported all the stuff, we just printed them out, and then we use this guy for the last guys, right? It's as simple as ABC. So if you have any question, let me know with this. And then sorry, Ctrl C. Okay, good. So which one did we do now? One calculator. So I will change the mode. Let me just use 777 and one calculator. I purposely use that number 777. Okay, so let us do this. So we have 10 plus 5 is this and this and this. So I think we're correct, right? Good. So I can add it. I'll just say git add one, and then git commit, and then I'll call it basic calculator calculation, and I'm gonna push it. So with this we are good. So the next thing we're gonna do, okay, we have to check if we're correct or probably sometimes you might make indentation errors and stuff. Just fix them. It's part of learning, and yeah. So good. So we are good with these, and then we'll go to the next one. So the next one says how to make a script dynamic. Okay, now write a program that prints the number of and the list of the arguments. So we know argv and argc. Argv is argument vector, right? So it's going to print the number of, that is argv, argc, argument counts, that's the number of argument, and then the list, which is the argument vector, it's going to be printed. Okay, so the output should be, so what we'll be getting as the output will be the number of argument followed by the argument, if number is 1, or argument otherwise followed by. So the number of arguments will be printed. So let me just quickly explain it using this guy. For example, we have the file being executed here. This is just one argument, like there's no argument rather to this file, right? It means 0 arguments. Okay, so we have 0, and then we have arguments being printed, but now there's one argument to this execution, right, which is hello. So it says 1 argument, and then printed that as index 1 we have hello. So now it has 1 2 3 4 5 6 arguments. So it says 6 arguments, and then it said index 1 hello, index 2 this, index 3, like that. So we have to print the number of arguments, and then each guys one after the other. So basically that's what we want to do. But for our code to be short, we will now be restricted to do some things. Okay, so now that's what we'll now take a look at. Okay, said the output should be the number of argument followed by the argument if number is 1, or arguments, look at it, T and S. Otherwise, if the number is 1, it's only when it is 1 that it is ordinary. When it is 0, it's S. When it is 6, it's S. Okay, and then followed by the colon or dot if no arguments were passed. So this one has dot when no arguments were passed, but this one has colon right afterwards. Okay, so a new line followed by at least one argument, one line per argument. So as you can see, one line if the position argument starting at 1, the position of the argument starting at 1 followed by dot followed by argument, your code should be executed when imported, should not be executed when imported. The number of elements of argv can be retrieved by using the length len of argv. Okay, so we can get the number of arguments using the length. You do not have to fully understand list yet, but imagine that argv could be used for just like a C arrays. So you should imagine that argv we can use it as normal array in C blah 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 for indexing. We'll get to it and then we'll do it. So here we don't really need anything to create here, so all we need is this guy, and then we'll need to import one module that is inbuilt. Okay, so we'll be importing an input module. So let us create this guy, and I'm going to insert, because we're going to run it as a script. So I have my I wanted to write bin, so user bin and python 3, and because we're going to be running it as a script, so I'll say if name equals to main y, and then we're going to put it under. Okay, so because we're going to be using the system, or the one that is on our system, there's a module called sys, right? And inside the sys module we want to use one particular definition, which is the argv. So we import argument vector. Okay, so it's as simple as that. So what next we'll do is we'll create a variable called x. Okay, and then we'll say x will be the length of the argv. We need length of argv, how many arguments do we have, as we were told that we could use length. And then I want to minus 1 because the first one is not quite really needed. Okay, so I want to have minus 1 also because it starts from 0 and then 1. Okay, so you get to understand why I use that. So what I'll then do is I'll go straight to my stuff, and then I would say for when it is 0, right, it should just print. If you look at it, when it is 0, it prints 0 argument. So for it to be 0, it means that if our x, which will be the length, right, is less than 1, that is not 1, it's less than, it means it's 0 or probably nothing, right? Then we'll put this indentation, and then we'll come here. Then it should print what? It should print what? 0, that's x. The number of arguments will be x, so it should print x. So we use the string, we can use the string format, or you can use the fast string method. So it's going to print sorry, this guy, which is going to be x, which is the number, which is the what's it called, the number, the length of the string, which will be probably -1 or minus anything, or 0, majorly which will be 0, right? And then it's going to print arguments and full stop, right? So arguments and full stop. And then here we will tell it, so no, the x is not supposed to be here, it's supposed to be inside the format. So clean this and then put the x inside the format. I was using the f string method already. Alright, so this is it, and that is that. So that is it. So else, if our x is now equals to 1, for it to be equal to 1, okay, it means we have one extra, and the length would have said probably it is now 2. Okay, So 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, so 2 minus 1 is 1. So x will not become 1 at that point, showing that there's one more argument. Okay, let's see it that way. Alright, so put our indentation and then we'll set it to print. Print. We'll still have our string.format, right? And now we're still going to have our first guy, and this time it's just going to be argument and then a semicolon as given, and then this one will just be the 1, right, which is x. We can just leave it at x, which will still be 1. Okay, you can put 1 there. I think it should work that way as well. And yeah, I think that's it. So we're done with that. Else, it means it is greater than 1. Okay, or else if x is greater than 1, you could use that as well. Let me know if that works, so you can try that to make your work dynamic. Okay, so we're to print also the string format, and then I'll still put x here, telling it that I want to print the number of arguments. So we'll have our 6, for example, first, and then arguments, and then we'll have a colon, right? And that would be that. So once it's done with this, then we want to exit this place and then just say, so once it's done, we'll have a for loop. Okay, so for I in range, I'll put x, and I'll explain why I did this. Okay, so this guy I can put, let me put one more space. Okay, good. So I gave space there, and yes, so we'll have it this way. So print, I'm going to explain this for loop for you so you understand what I'm doing. So I'll do this format and this guy. So I hope you get this. I know you don't understand the for loop yet, so let me just finish what I want to do so I can explain. So I will say I want to print this and this. So what I'm doing now is, first I've handled when it is 0, when it is 1, when it is 6, but now when it is more than 0, we'll still have this guy, which will be the x here, right, and then the argv, and then we'll have another x and the second argv. So that is why I now say for I in x, since x will now contain many, x is now 6, for example. Okay, let's say the length is 6, so I in, so this means that it's going to go from 0 to 6, yeah, right? So it's going to go from 0 to 6, this follow. So we'll have our this guy, and then I will say the first thing it's going to print is the number, right, which is x. And remember, it's going to go from 0, and we don't want to print the 0, which is the file name. We want to print, we don't want to print this guy, we want to print from here, right? So instead of writing I here, format I, am I right? Okay, yeah, I will say I plus 1 first. So it's going to first print that, comma. So it's going to print the guy here. So the next time it's coming, it's going to print 2. Next time it's coming 3 to 6, like that. Okay, so what is going to be here now is now going to be what is going to be our argv, right? So it's now going to be argv at index. That is where that C part is talking about, at index I also plus 1, because we don't want to print this guy at first, so we want to start from here. So it's going to increase. So as our I is increasing, I will start from 0, but it is now starting from 1. let's say like that. Okay, so you could change this range to make it go from 1 to x. Okay, or you could just use it this way, but when you are doing it from 1 to x, it means you remove this 1 here. All right, so so I think that is that, and then we can just convert this guy to a string. To convert it to string, we just do dot s, and then that will convert it to string, and then I think we'll be good to go. So okay, good. So can we execute this? So chmod plus x2. All right, and then so it says 0 argument, right? And then I say hello, my coin is a man. 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? 6 arguments, right? I think we're good. So I'll git add. Wait, do we have 2 space here? I think it's 1. Okay, I'll git add 2 and git commit, and I'll call it number of arguments and argument vector, and then I'm going to push it. So let's hope that works. Okay, so we have little issue, which is nice that we had it. So let's see, that might be, once you have this last check, majorly is the indentation. So let us just work with that. vi2, so it's this indentation over here. Let me just remove that guy and let's try. Let me remove this white space as well. It might be the white space at the bottom. Anyway, so git add 2, git commit. Let me use the old commit, and then git push. So let me try again. So it worked now. So it might be the last one down there. So let us see. The next one is write a program that will print the result of the addition of all the arguments. So we have this argument, right? There's nothing here, so it's 0. Here is 79 and 10, that's 89. Here, addition of this, and then it's this. So look at the example they now gave you below. Addition of these large numbers. Can you see? And it gave them this number. Okay. So the next thing we'll do is we'll create the file where our code to be, and because we'll be executing it, you know what to do. So we'll do vi. I expect you to have finished this, as in what I want to do. Shebang and user / bin / bash. Sorry. User / bin / python 3. I'm used to the bash script. Alright, so we'll say if name is equal to, I think we should put space there. If name is equal to underscore name underscore, then we'll follow our ladder. So the next thing is we should just add that, but before we add that, the output should be the result of the addition of the argument followed by a new line. You can cast into int. You assume everything will be int. Your code should not be executed when imported. So your output should be the result of the addition of all arguments. Okay, and that's it. And okay, so it's as simple as ABC. So what we'll do is we'll need argv because we have argument passed to it. So from system import argv because we want to use it. So we have our sum integer because that sum is, it looks like a built-in function. We'll give it 0 for now because at first we're having 0. Okay, we'll have it like that. So we'll have a loop and say for I in range, okay, for I in range, and then we'll have, so what I was saying before is we could just say from 1 to, you remember what I was saying, and then length of arg, we can just put it there straight, or write x and then equals to length of arg p. Okay, the length of arg v. So we have that, and then so the next thing we'll do is sum int plus equals to, that is, we want to be adding up every argument that is being passed. So it's going to be adding up, let's cast it to int as we were told, and then arg v at index index I. So index 1, it's not going to start from index 0 now, it's going to start from index 1, which is going to be the first argument, not this guy. Okay, so it's going to start from here. So so this place will now be holding 0 plus probably 79, which we have here, and then plus, then plus minus 40 plus, like that. It's going to continue adding that up, and then at the end we'll do what? We'll then print the sum out. So it's going to continue that. We don't want it to interfere with to print immediately, so we'll exit the loop, and then we'll print using the string format method. I love using my double quotes. Format, string format method, and then something will be printed, definitely. Sorry. So we use this format, and then that's the total result, and then this will be sum int, right? Sum int, and I think that will be it. Yeah. So let us see. Let me clear my screen. ls and then chmod 3, chmod plus x3, and then 3 says 0, right? So if I say and this, so it gives us, what else are you thinking? Let's do minus 64 500. Good, it's working. So that's great. And what else? So we'll add it, we'll add 3, and then we'll commit it and say add argument vector together, no matter the length. A mistake. Okay, and then this. Okay, then I'm going to push it. So I could say I want to add 11111 and 1111. So what am I going to get? Yeah, something like that. Good. So let us test it if it's working. Good. So number 4, who are you? Write a program that prints all the names defined by the compiled modules. So you should download this locally. Anyway, let's go through it. So the first thing we're gonna do is bless me. So it says we should write a program that will print all the names defined by a compiled hidden file. This compile file or the cache file. Please download it locally. You should print one name per line in alphabetical order. So it's been sorted here and then being printed in alphabetical order. You should print only names that do not start with underscore. I feel naturally when you use from this guy import X, import with wildcard, it would exclude those guys that start with these two. Okay, but we could also give a condition not to pick anyone that starts with these two. And also the dir function would list all built-in function in a particular module. Okay, so these are the tips or things that we need. You can download this locally if you want, but anyway, we'll go through it straight up and do it. So I'll copy this guy and vi this. Sorry, there's something wrong. I think my stop was and. Okay, is it working? Are you working? Or frozen? Let me just reload it. I'm supposed to copy it first. That's gone. So I'll cd into my ALX and 0x02. I'm back there. Okay, so I'll vi this guy. Okay, and then like I said, our user Python 3 and if name is equal to our main, then from I think it is called hidden 4 import all. Normally all should neglect those ones, but anyway, so I'll call ARR. There are different ways you could solve this guy. I'll just give dir. Set dir. So ARR is having all the what's it called? All the compiled module should print per line alphabetical. Should print do not start with this per line. Write a program that prints all names defined. All names. That's all functions. So let me just use all. Sorry. So dir. Oh, there's something called all. So let me use it. All functions. All f. Okay. So Then after that, then I could just iterate through them and not print those starting with underscore. But I feel if you just print all F straight, we should be able to get all the names. Okay, but anyway, so let's just do what we have to do. So I'll say for I in range, I don't want to waste your time, so I just want to do what I know that will work. Okay, if not, if you feel you would wait so that I can try some different things, you can drop it on the comments, so that, but I don't want the video to be too long. But anyway, it's all about learning. So if you want me to try those ones in future videos, let me know, so I can also be trying it and you can be seeing the errors and then learn from them, and we'll still get our answer anyway. Probably come back to this. So our range, you should start from 0 and end with the length of okay, so we'll get the length of, so I said ARR, all F, all functions. So all the functions, right, we'll get the length with this length, since length will help us get the length of those arguments, right? So we'll get the length. So we want to go in numbers of the length, right, from 0 to, we can just ignore the 0 as well, okay, because it's going to be the same thing. And then after that, then I'll give it a condition that if all our function at that particular index I, okay, the first two digits is not equal to underscores. Once it is not equal to underscore, then print it. Okay, so that is when it's going to print. We'll have our string format. And then we want to print our all functions at a particular index I. So we're going to print all functions at index 0 like that, and this will now be like this, and then we can just convert it to string, and that will be all for this. Let me see. Okay, so if you have any questions concerning this, let me know so I can clear it out. Which one did I just do? 4. So I'll just add my X and this and 4. Is there anything to be printed? Okay, I don't have my file there, so I'll have to download it and make it work because you can't find it. Okay, so let us just git add 4. If it doesn't work, I'll put it there and then we'll know what to do. And git commit and say print all function in a file defined. So we'll check that out. Someone is coming to disturb me again. Let's go. Yeah, so we are correct with this one. So the next one, task number 5, it says so I'm going to create, so are we going to create this variable 5. Okay, let us create this guy. So this is just a variable inside this file. So I'm going to paste it. Vi. What's the name of the file? The name of the file is variable load. Let me just copy it and paste it, and then I'll repaste that guy. So copy it, I'll paste it, and insert mode. You don't need to be in insert mode to paste anyway. So I'll just copy this guy and paste it here. Sorry, I made mistake, so it's gonna pop up now and I'm going to exit it if it does. Okay, so I have this one and it says ls. So I have the which one did I just do? Variable load. Okay, good. So write a program that imports a variable A. The variable is in this file, as you can see. It is 98 and it's going to print it 98. So by the time you are not allowed to use this and this, your code should be, so we'll create this 5 variable load. Okay, so 5 variable load. So I'll vi 5 variable load, and then I'll shebang user bin Python 3, and then if name is equals to name, then I'll say from where, what's the name, variable load 5, from variable load 5, right, import A. Can do that, and then we just print it out. Print, we can just use fast string method here. I can just use fast string method and say print A. Very short. Fast string method is superb. So I'll just close that, and where is it? 5 variables. So I'll change the mode to 5. Sorry, I'll change the mode, add X, and then 98, correct. So I'm going to git add 5 and git commit it. Simple as that, and call it functions, a function that loads variable from a module. So push it and let's test it out. So I have that. So that works. So I think we are getting close to the end. Okay, so we have our advanced task. So let's open the advanced task. So advanced task. Okay, good. So we have a function that define add, that subtracts, that multiply, that divides. Okay, good. So I'm going to create this. This is called calculator1.py. We have it already, right? Calculator1.py. Okay, we have it already. So the next one is going to be 100 mycalculator.py. 100 mycalculator.py. So I'm going to create it vi 100 mycalculator. I can't wait to be done. So I'll shebang user and then binary and then Python 3, and then same thing, because we're going to be executing it. If name is equals to main, and then that. Okay, so let's see what we have. It says write a program that imports all the function from the calculator .py and handle basic operation. So all the functions we say from calculator _1 import. So we have our add, we have our subtract, we have our division and multiplication, and division. Good. So usage, we have the file and argvis. So we'll add that from system import argv. So our number of arguments will equal to length of argv. Very simple. I think you understand this. We've been using, so we'll use the length to get the, so number of arguments is holding how many stuff is there, because we want to do a calculator in the sense that we'll have our file and then we'll say probably a plus b. So we need to make sure that it is nothing less than these 3 arguments that is passed. So if the number of arguments is not 3, your program has to print the usage is this and this and exit with a value 1. Okay, so to know the number of arguments, we need to first get the length. That's why we need this. Okay, so if the if number of arguments, we have it here already, is not equals to 4. Okay, so like to print, right? What are we to print? This. I'll copy it. And then I'll paste it. Good. And then what? Exit with 1. Good. So we are done with that. We exit that loop, that statement. Operation can be plus this. If the operation is not above, print unknown operation. Okay, so available operation is this. Okay, so you can cast a, I'm trying to see, okay, so we have that, and then exit with a value 1. You can cast a and b into integers by using int. You can assume that all arguments will be casted into integer. The result should be a plus b equals to c, followed by a new line. You are not allowed to use this import and this. Okay, good. So we're almost done. So basically what we'll do next is, after we've exited that one, we'll need our a, which will be int, and which will be whatever it is passed to our argv at index 1, right? So we'll need our operator, which will be equal to argv at index 2, right? And we need our b, which will be equals to int argv at index 3. Okay, so we have that. So we then say if operator is equal to, if operator is equal to plus, if our operator is equal to plus, then we should print, we can use the fast string method. You should print A and then operator, that's plus, and then B, right, is equals to a particular guy, which will be what? Add A comma B, right? And then that's it. Then else, if operator is equal to minus, and you print this, but this one will just be subtract. Else, if operator is what? Multiplication. Then this one will be multiply. And then do we have one more? Then this one will be what? Division. Good. So we have that. These are the operations. What if our operation is now nonsense? So else, if else, it means our operation is nonsense, then you should just print what should we print? We should print unknown operator. Is it on this? And it should exit with the value 1. So paste this. Why didn't it paste? Paste this, and then we'll exit with value 1. Okay, exit 1. I think we are good. So let us change the mode. Operator, okay, I misspelled it. PI 100 operator. Okay, I have been misspelling it because I was copying and pasting. Operator. Operate. 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 Let's see again. 2 plus 3 is 5. Let's change it to this as operator. It says that's okay. I want to change the operator. Let me use and 4. Okay, usage this operator on B. Okay, exit one. Okay, I think it's working somehow now. Let me git add 100 git commit advanced calculator and then git push. Let's check what errors would have. Okay, it's worked, so move to the next one. Write a program that will print this followed by a new line in the standard output. So we just create this guy. We have to just print Python in school to standard output. Standard output meaning 1. Okay, standard input 0, standard error 2. Your program should be maximum of 2 lines. You're not allowed to use print eval import system. So there are different ways to do it, but this would work faster. So we'll first have our script and user being Python 3, and then we'll use this import. We'll say import the operating system, and then we'll use the write function, the write, and close it. And we'll say you should write to the standard output. Python is cool, and then a new line, close it. So, and then we'll encode it because the write function uses an what's it called, an encoding function. So we encode it to UTF-8 if I can remember. UTF-8, I think there's it. So import, we use the write function. Okay, our stuff is not correct. This one is too much. Is one that is supposed to be there. Okay, good, it's correct now. So we encode it to UTF-8, and I think that's it. Import OS. So our import needs one more underscore here. Okay, good. Import OS operating system, and then write to the standard output Python is cool new line, and encode it to UTF-8, and that's it. Python is cool, good. So I'm going to push it. Git commit and says easy print with write function. So let us check. Good. So the second to last is bytecode. So write the function, write the Python function that does exactly the following bytecode. So we just interpret the bytecode, and that's all. So we have it in this guy. So shebound I at the top, then define. So we have a function. Thank you. Good. So we have this, and if you look at it, we have that it first loaded it said it loaded some constant, add and subtract. So import a name, magic calculation 102. So there's a file called magic calculation 102 that is being imported. So it imported it, and then from it loaded add and subtract. So that's what we first do. So we'll first say from this guy import add and subtract. Good. So it compares and says if A is greater than B, okay, or if A is less than B rather. So if A is less than B, so it will jump to 94. 94 is down here, okay, and then continues, and then it says add A and B, and then it should store the answer into C. So we'll have our C, add A, B. So the answer is stored in C, and then that's that, and then we'll set up a loop. Okay, we'll set up a loop and we'll store the loop in I. Say set up a loop that ranges, it has 3 range from 4 to 6. Okay, so we'll set up a loop. We'll say for I in range from 4 to 6. Okay, where are we? Okay, and then you said add C and I together and store it in C again. In C, add C and I. Okay, and what else? What else are we doing here? And then add C and I and store it in C, and then go back to yes, stop fast, the jump absolute. It is to 65 for iteration, store fast C, 65 pop block. Okay, and then return C. We have to return C. Return C. So I think this return C will be outside this guy. And then yeah, so return C, else we are going to subtract A and B and return the value. So else we are going to subtract A and B and return it. So we are going to return subtraction of A, B. Okay, let's see, do we have to change the mode? I don't think it's going to be doing anything, so we don't need to, but let me just change it for changing sake. 102, and then git add 102 git commit converting to Python code. So let's check. Good. So the last one is this, and do we have anything? Nothing. Okay. You say write a program that prints alphabet in uppercase followed by a new line. Your program should be maximum of 3 lines long. Okay. So we have just 3 lines to complete. You are not allowed to use any loop, any condition, string join, anything like that. Okay. So once you execute it, to print in capital letter. Okay. And then when they count how many lines, it's just 3 that you have. Okay, so we have vi and the file name. So I'll have my script, which is going to be user and then b and then python 3. Okay, so now to access that, we'll use a module called string module, and then we'll import in that module, we'll import the ASCII uppercase. So let me just ASCII underscore uppercase. Okay, from that we can print it. Then we'll print ASCII underscore uppercase, and I think that's all. So chmod plus x 103 and 1 abc, so that's correct. Then git add, git commit, and now say print alpha case alphabet with the ASCII alphabet function in string module, and then I'm going to git push it. So let us test it and see if you are correct. So we're correct, and that will be all. Don't forget to subscribe. And I created a course on Simple Shell. If you haven't checked it out, it's going to be a paid course, and I'll be releasing more videos soon, and it will be ready before the end of this year. See you. Bye. 2023.